Shalom, called by Yahweh Shem Shah. Shalom to the elect. Now in this video, I want to go into how the prophecies are speaking. And it's exactly coming to fruition, exactly how it was written. And if a person can't really see it right now, the Most High really don't want you to see this. But it's clear as day, man. Everything that's been written is definitely coming to pass. And to say that in the scripture, surely his word should come to pass. And then we get that. It's in the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 24. And this is my second time doing this video because my phone reset or something happened to it. But I'm just going to it and redo it. It might have needed to come out in a different manner. But it's in the book of Isaiah, chapter 14, verse 24. It says, "The Lord of hosts has sworn, saying, Surely as I have thought, so shall it come to pass. And as I have proposed, so shall it stand." So ain't nothing finna not go according as planned. Everything finna go down exactly how it was written. And you can see it. Now you got earthquakes popping off. Scripture says there's going to be earthquakes in diverse places. Go to that book of Luke. It's in the book of Luke. It says, in chapter 21, verse 11, it says, "And great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences, and fearful sights and great signs shall there be from heaven." And this past day, it ain't even just been this past week. This past day, that's what's been happening back to back to back. So everything's speeding up. The day, like the scripture say, the day shall be short for the elect sake. Now it won't be no flesh saved. Dealing with Esau ass and they little agenda they got, polluting everything, the air, the land, the water, the food. They'll try to wipe everybody out and then go escape to another damn planet. But they ain't gonna be able to. But this area over here in the region, they call it the Ring of Fire, near Alaska, California, and going towards, I want to say Hawaii if I'm not mistaken. A 7.1 earthquake hit. Yeah, the eclipse that just happened, which a lot of people probably not too familiar with, because I'm looking at the view count. You think it'd be millions of views, but it's only 7,000. Or 7.4 thousand, I should say. And all this just happened just recently. Got another earthquake that hit over there in New Zealand. Well, it strikes off the coast of New Zealand. There was a swarm, but the major one was 7.4. Those are big quakes, man. As scripture clearly says, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines. Then you got food shortages, stuff going on with the beef, the ground beef. E. coli been floating around. Different stores not selling certain products. Different farmers throwing away certain stuff. Then you got locusts destroying crops. That's a famine. Pestilences, they're talking about different viruses. They're talking about another wave of this COVID thing, which through the spirit, Esau done cooked up some shit in that CDC lab and about to release it. There's a lot of people seeing through this little COVID stuff. So they had to go conjure up something else to really fuck with people. It says, "And fearful sights and great signs shall they be from heaven." It's a great sign right from heaven. And simultaneously, like I was telling one of the Akim, hey man, when these eclipses happen, normally there'd be some war stuff popping off right afterwards. And you got naval drills, Iran blow up targets with cruise missiles. Let that play. I don't want to hear that shit, that's why I muted it. They got all these different little distractions with these TV shows and all that. These the times we in, man. All this other little bullshit that they put in the media, the little psyops they coming up with, they to distract people from what's really going on. This about to spill over here. Another video I seen recently, they were talking about how, let me go to it real quick. They were talking about how China and India called for peace 2 days after border clashes. And the scriptures say, when they should say peace and safety, and sudden destruction come upon them. Because they always holler that peace shit, and next thing you know, somebody do something to agitate somebody on the other side. And then next thing you know, they right back at it. And this was just a day ago. Let me go back up. Got U.S. and Russia going at it. The U.S. intercept Russian bombers that carry nukes.
Tension is building over international waters near the coast of Alaska after the United States says it intercepted another fleet of Russian bombers. But while the U.S. claims the flight was too close for comfort, Russia claims it went according to schedule. RT's Rachel Blevins is joining us now to break this all down for us. So, Rachel, what has Russia said about this incident so far?
Well, the Russian Defense Ministry is saying this was a scheduled flight, and they say that at no point did they deviate from their plan to fly off the coast of Siberia and Alaska. And they actually released footage from this incident, which shows one of their 4 Tu-95 bombers on the mission.
And these bombers carry nukes. That's why they monitoring them like that. Now, in the book of 2 Peter, chapter 3, verse 11, it says, seeing that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought you to be in all holy conversation and godliness? And let me go back one more verse and we'll just read through 2 Peter because I really like this book. Now, and what you see happening around the earth, man, the reason why certain I came into these words like this, outside of living our daily lives, this is why. But I'm gonna start at verse 1, then I read on down. It says, "His second epistle, beloved, I now write unto you of both which I stir up your pure minds by the way of remembrance." Because we've been through this stuff, like the scripture says, no new thing under the sun. That which has been, that which is to be. So whatever we knew back then, we knowing it right now. It says that you may be mindful of the words which was spoken before by the holy prophets, and of the commandment of us, the apostles of the Lord and Savior. It says, knowing this first, that there should come in the last days scoffers. Because you have people that talk shit, especially if you tell somebody that you into the Bible or whatever. Like I had came across this woman, like last month, she was talking shit to my, oh yeah, people, I don't know how people can believe in that book, and people waiting on their sky daddy to come save them. Hey, most High gonna let her see that shit. She gonna give us a chance to get a glimpse of the deliverance, but her ass ain't gonna get delivered unless she repent and snap out of that little wicked ass mindset and says walking after their own lust. And that's what most people do. They want to walk after their own lust. They don't really want to apply these words to their life. They don't really want to be into this word. They don't want to hear about this. They really hear about getting money from Esau and all this other little bullshit. Getting reparations and being equal with Esau. They ain't trying to hear about this. They don't want to rule over them. They want to be equal with them. Which says, and saying, where is the promise of his coming? This is the fathers fell asleep. All things continue as they were from the beginning of creation. For it is they willingly are ignorant of that by the word of Yahweh the heavens were of old, and the earth standing out of the water and in the water, whereby the world that then was being overflowed with water perished. Because back then, and then you got this pride shit going on too. These motherfuckers so stupid. They don't even remember or pay attention. If they do know, they don't pay attention to the story about Sodom and Gomorrah and all the time of Noah when the earth flooded the earth, when the Lord flooded the earth with water and only left 8 people alive. That don't sound like somebody that loved everybody. And then you had the time of Sodom and Gomorrah when that area got burnt the fuck up. And they don't realize the same thing gonna happen to this place. And I'm gonna read on some more, and it says, verse 7 says, but the heavens and the earth, which are now by the same word, are kept and stored, reserved until fire against the day of judgment, the perdition of ungodly men, And if you got any sense, hey, a lot of people, they can't even swim anyway. But try swimming in the lake of fire, though. So if you got some sense, you're going to be trying to avoid that and get on the Most High good side. But back in verse 5, like I said, it says, for this, they willingly are ignorant. So they willingly be ignorant. They the truth out, the word out, information out. You got people that you can go to that's right in reach if you really want to learn about what you need to know. They don't want to learn though. Like the scripture says, the Lord stretched his hand out, but they regarded it not though. And how he stretched his hand out, he put the spirit on people to know this information and be able to break it down for you in a clear manner. They don't want to hear it though. But they don't want to hear it when it's too late. In verse 8 it says, but beloved, be not ignorant of this one thing, that one day is with the Lord as 1,000 years, and 1,000 years as one day. The Lord is not slack concerning his promise, as some men count slackness, but is long suffering to us, not willing that any should perish, but that all should come to repentance. And the only ones that's really going to come to repentance is the elect, because everybody else ain't even thinking about repenting. Verse 10 it says, but the day of the Lord will come as a thief in the night, and in which the heavens shall pass away with a great noise. Because when you ever hear the missiles, when they break the atmosphere, they make a great noise. And it says, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. These bombers, man, the bombers carry them. They got silos that got them. They got them attached to satellites. That's why they've been going up into space, trying to do the little Space Force, and then simultaneously using the Space Force to get ready to fight the Lord when he come back. It says, an element shall melt with fervent heat, and the earth also, and the works that are therein shall be burned up. Seeing then that all these things shall be dissolved, what manner of persons ought you to be in all holy conversation and godliness, looking for and hastening to the coming day of our power, wherein the heavens being on fire shall be dissolved, and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. Nevertheless, we according to his promise look for new heavens and a new earth, wherein dwelleth righteousness, and that's what we're looking for. We want to see a man in his right mind frame want to see this fucking society done away with, because you ain't fucking free. Look how much money you get. You could be a millionaire. You still got to pay taxes at Esau. You still got to get an ID. You want to drive, you got to get a driver's license. You want to take a trip somewhere, you got to get a passport. You want to buy land, you got to go to Esau to buy the land. You want to have kids, you got to have these damn Edomites in the hospital to help birth your seed. So, man, hey, either way, no matter how much money you get or whatever, you're still up under these damn devils that rule in unrighteousness. And that's why the scriptures say when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn, but when the righteous and authority, the people rejoice. When the righteous people start actually ruling, then people going to really be rejoicing. Now, I'm going to read on some more. In verse 14 it says, wherefore, beloved, seeing that you look for such things, be diligent that you may be found of him in peace, without spot and blameless, and account that long suffering of our Lord as salvation, even as our beloved brother Paul, also according to the wisdom given unto him, have written unto you. Because the Most High giveth the wisdom. You can't just be like, oh yeah, I'm wise on my own. No, it's Yahweh Hashem, Yahweh to give the wisdom. And scripture also say wisdom dwelleth not in a malicious soul. So if you're a malicious type person, you ain't gonna be that wise. But it says, as also like all his epistles, speaking in them of these things, in which are some things hard to be understood, which they that are unlearned and unstable rest, as they do also the other scriptures, unto their own destruction. Because people read stories about Paul, or they'll be like, oh, he was a Gentile and such or whatever. But they'll read different scriptures, maybe in the book of Galatians, Corinthians, in the book of Jude, James, and all these different scriptures like that in the New Testament. And they'll bug out because they don't even know how to read precept upon precept. And that's why I say it says in which are some things hard to be understood. It's hard for people to understand this if they're not meant to get it. They got to be taught ultimately, and then on top of that, you got to be of the elect if the Most High really wants you to get this and understand this. It says, which they that are unlearned and unstable rest, as they do also the other scriptures. Like, you have people breaking stuff down. Like, people can't grasp that Solomon is actually Yahweh. They can't grasp that King David came back as Peter. They can't grasp that Elijah came back as John the Baptist. They don't understand that type of stuff. What is it's in the scriptures, they break it down clearly. Or they can't grasp the fact that Mary actually had sex with Joseph and Gabriel ain't come down and get her pregnant. But it says, read on to verse 17, it says, yea, therefore, beloved, seeing ye know these things before, beware lest ye also being led away with the error of the wicked, fall from your own steadfastness. So that's why we got to be diligent, keep your mind sharp, stay alert, paying attention, say reading and researching, stand up on your toes, so to speak, so you don't end up bugging out and be talking about the earth flat or whatever other little nonsense that people be talking about. But in verse 18, it says, but grow in grace and in knowledge of our Lord and Savior, Yahweh Shah Mashiach. To him be the glory, both now and forever. Amen. And I'm going to play another video real quick and end this off. Now, simultaneously, what happened yesterday, as you've seen the video, with the U.S. so-called intercepting Russia, now you got a Russian military escorting the U.S. So they're going back and forth. Tit for
Michael's
tat.
lowest...
Mute that shit. I don't want to hear that. And you got the stuff going on over there in Korea too, so man, this scripture right here also is speaking. In the book of Luke, chapter 21, verse 9. It says, when we shall hear wars and commotion, be not terrified, for these things must first come to pass. But the end is not by and by. Because this still got to come to pass. It's, so to speak, once they really start escalating and still pop off, something's going to happen in the midst of that too, for the dollar to collapse and then to push this RFID chip. And then these nations, they really don't want that stuff. Iran, Russia, they really trying to have gold-backed currencies. They're not really trying to push the RFID system like that. So that could be a cause of war, because most wars have started with a financial war first, like the stuff going on with China, and them ditching the U.S. dollar and selling off the debt, so to speak, that they got. Let me see what else I'm going to real quick. Yeah, I'm going to read on some more book of Luke and then I'll end this off. This in verse 10, it says, then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom, and great earthquakes shall be in diverse places, and famines and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. And that's what you see going on, nation rising against nation, kingdom against kingdom. It says, and this also going to happen too, so you all can definitely get ready for this. There's a lot of, hey, you think your family members don't know what you be into and what you be doing? What co-workers or your women or whatever the scenario might be. You let Esau come to their ass if they ain't really down for you like that. You let Esau come to them and talk about taking something valuable from them or putting them somewhere. But if they don't want to end up in that situation, they got to turn you in. They gonna turn you the fuck in. That's exactly what's gonna happen, man. And that's why it's good. So when people don't have you in their so-called council, or they invite them to their parties and all this other stuff, hey, look at that as a blessing, man, because you don't need to be around their ass any damn way. But I'm gonna read this in verse 12. It says, but before all these things, they shall lay their hands on you and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. That namesake again, is you got to know the name. They're going to be talking about, why you talking about Yahweh Shah, why you talking about Yahweh. People going to turn you in for that. And it says, and they shall turn to you for a testimony. And they going to want to hear these words. That's why the Most High putting the spirit on men to stir up their minds to remember these scriptures. It's to the point now, certain Akim, man, I know y'all know. You can say this, so you ain't even got to read this. I'm only showing this just for edification's sake, but this is in my mind. This is implanted in my brain. It says in verse 14, settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what you should answer, for I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries should not be able to gainsay nor resist. And when you speak according to this word, can't nobody gainsay or resist, unless they just a damn demon, and then they gonna flee. And it says in verse 16, it says, and you should be betrayed both by parents and brethren and kinsfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. And once again, the reason why, in verse 17 it says, and you should be hated of all men for my name's sake, because you got to know the name. It says, but there shall not a hair of the hair perish, and your patience possess ye your souls. So hey, we got to be patient. See what Yahweh Hashem Yahushua gonna do. Hey, it's written out what he gonna do, but we're gonna be able to visualize it and see it come to fruition. So I just want to bring this out, man. Hey, the war drums beating, more prophecies coming to pass, more earthquakes going on. The elites been hiding out underground and fleeing up into space. More signs in the heavens. More uprising of the people. Sedition among men. Esau bugging out. I see the elder posting a video about Esau bugging out, because Esau know they through. These Edomites, they know their society through, man. I seen a lady in the store recently, and she asked me, an Edomite lady, she was like, well, I think about the society, I think it's going to come back. I just let them know, it's not. So, Lord's willing, it's edifying. Call all y'all about Shem Shah and Shalom to the elect.